Hey everyone, welcome back. This is blanchsb, and I've got another Serpens 3 introductory video for you. Today we're going to be covering menus. And if you've never used a menu before, menus can be found all over Blender. They typically are found inside of the header area, and they have openings that let you pick submenu items. In Serpens, as you build a menu, you have the option to set up the number of columns for the items that are shown. And this is for basic items, like if you have item 1, 2, and 3. You can pick how you want your menu to be displayed. So I pre-built a panel, and I have my menu node here. And as I click and open it up, you'll see the drop-down provides all 3 options for the items. Now the first 2 items are just labels, so they won't let you select them. They're just for describing things. And item number 3 would be a button. But they do look very similar inside of a menu. Notice how item 3 does have the fast keystroke option, so it highlights I, and that's a Blender feature. You don't really get to pick how it does it, but it does do it. So in order to pick to have another column added, you can just turn the column up here to set your menu items, and let's go to 2 columns. Now you can see that I have 2 items setting on column 1, and the 3rd item would go on column 2. If I want 3 columns, I can go up to 3. Now all 3 items are on their own column. That gives you a couple of options. There are other nodes that can do things similar to this, but for a menu, this is how it typically works in Serpens. In order to display your menu, this is just to set it up. You have to add in a submenu. So here we have a submenu that goes along with our menu. And if you want to add your own menu, you just go to Shift-A, Interface, and find the menu node. And drag it in. I've already got one in. You do the same thing for your submenu. So Shift-A, Interface, and Submenu. And if you're going to copy a menu from the 3D viewport, you can always do that, and I'll cover that in just a second. But for the menu that we've created with Serpens, we want to make sure that we click on Custom. You're going to go ahead and pick your node graph, and then go find your menu. Now that you've got the submenu, you can attach it to your interface. So I've already done that down here. So here's my panel, and I've got this submenu set to show my panel only during edit mode. So when I'm in object mode or another mode, it's not going to show up. We've covered how to set that up in a previous video, and here's just a basic panel. Don't worry about these items yet. We're going to get to those. But here's my new submenu, and that's going to show up on the panel when you add it. Now, because I have these sockets, if I add this back in, it's not going to update. All I have to do is recompile. But if I were to drag this out without the little slice sockets on the noodle, it would work just fine. So just to let you know, Shift-R and it'll recompile and it gets added in. So if we have a submenu that we want to copy from the Blender interface, we can always do that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm bringing down another submenu, connecting it in. I'm going to recompile. And I want to grab this view, this entire view menu as a submenu. And a submenu gives you a drop-down. So click, and then you can see these little pipettes everywhere over the screen. And you just come on in, and you're looking for the select view. Now I've already set up the label and the icons just to help speed along this video. You'll notice I have everything in the view settings on my panel now. I'm going to do the same thing for the select menu. So I would just click on, make sure you're set to Blender, click on the copy, and go to select. I have to recompile since I've got these little slice sockets here. Now I've got the select menu. Do the same thing for the add menu inside of edit mode. Recompile since I'm connecting the socket. I can go in and add something into my mesh while it's in edit mode. We also have a very extensive right-click menu. So when you're in vertex mode and you right-click, you'll get a vertex context menu. You highlight 2 of them together, you'll get a double context menu. And if you highlight 3 of them together, you get a triple context menu. And I can actually grab all of those by clicking on just the submenu icon again. I can right click and I have the ability to select it right here. Plug that in, And you'll notice I've got it labeled right click. Now I can access all three of those if I'd like. Now you also have the opportunity to copy a menu that exists already in Blender. So I'm going to plug this in, and let's pick something like inside the mesh menu. So clicking in here, going to mesh, and I want to do something, let's do the merge menu. So select merge, and it automatically unloads the menu as a list of items when you copy that menu. Because we're not making another submenu. The submenus are these drop downs. This puts the entire menu on my interface, whatever interface item I'm using. So copy menus can be really handy. And that's pretty much it for the basics of menus. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next video where we cover more things in depth.